Hi, today we are going to be making one of America's greatest comfort foods, the Sloppy Joe, the homemade Sloppy Joe. I know it's easy enough to open up that can of Manwich or store brand of Sloppy Joe mix that you have, but what if you don't have any? Chances are you probably already have the ingredients that you need right in your own pantry right now. Now, this dates back to 1930. A cook in a cafe up in Iowa. His name was Joe. They're known for making their loose meat sandwiches up there made with ground beef. He added some extra ingredients, made the Sloppy Joe. Or perhaps it came from a bar down in Key West called Sloppy Joe's where Ernest Hemingway used to go. Or perhaps it came from Sloppy Joe's Saloon in Havana, Cuba. Doesn't really matter. What matters is this is a great sandwich. So let's get started. We're not going to wait. Meet me over to the cooktop. Here we are. I've got the meat. The pan is already heating up. Going to put that in. Now I've got one of these tools like this, and I find it extremely helpful for breaking up ground beef. But whatever works for you, we just need to break up the ground beef. I'm using a very lean cut of ground beef. It's like about 90-10. Actually, I think this is like 93-7. You want to do that. Otherwise, if you go like an 80-20, it's going to render a lot of that fat off and you're going to wind up having to drain it. Being this lean, we should not have to be draining this. Okay, I think you can see here that the meat is mostly browned, little pink areas throughout. That's okay because we haven't stopped cooking yet. We're just going to be adding the ingredients. So it's going to continue on the cooking process. So it's not going to matter that it's still a little pink. To that, I'm going to be adding some seasoning here. Now this is pepper, salt, and some chili powder. Get that blended in real quick here first. I'm going to turn this heat down just a little bit because most of the time this is actually going to be on simmer, and it never called on the heat actually being higher than just like medium, but now it can just be on kind of medium low. To that, I'm going to be adding some mustard and some minced garlic. Now all the proportions are going to be down below in the directions. That's looking good. Next, I'm going to add some brown sugar to this. The recipe is going to call for 1 tablespoon. I kind of like brown sugar, so I'm putting in 2 tablespoons. I'm not going to do it today, but I have been known to even add a little bit of chocolate syrup to my Sloppy Joe mix. You say, chocolate syrup, that sounds crazy, Ralph. Crazy good. So I recommend that you give it a try. It's not going to give you an overpowering flavor of chocolate in there. It's not going to ruin the recipe. Just give it a little blurp in there. Okay, to that, I'm going to be adding a little bit of tomato paste, some white vinegar, Worcestershire sauce. And no, this is not the only tomato-based ingredient that's going into it, because now I'm about to add 3/4 cup of ketchup. Now you could also add tomato sauce in here, but there's a few extra ingredients in ketchup. They're just going to kind of add to this mixture. Now it's starting to look a little bit more like Sloppy Joe's. You can also add some chopped up onions, some chopped up bell peppers. A lot of times you will see that into your mixture of the canned products. But I know some people will have fussy kids. Some wives that are doing this out here might have a fussy husband, that maybe they don't like bell peppers, maybe they don't like onions. And I'm just going to show you today You don't have to have those in here. I like them in there. It's good. But I just want to prove to you that you don't have to have it in here. And there's lots of other things you can do with Sloppy Joe mix. I mean, obviously, we're going to be putting them into a bun. It's going to be a Sloppy Joe sandwich because that's what everybody thinks of when they hear Sloppy Joe. But there's a lot of other things. And I will probably present some of those on future shows. But just some other ideas. You can add Sloppy Joe mix a little bit into a grilled cheese sandwich. You can put Sloppy Joe mix, maybe add a little bit of extra, maybe kidney beans in here with it and put it into baked potatoes. Put it in with macaroni and cheese. Lots of things that you can do with Sloppy Joe besides just a sandwich. Now, this is looking great. I'm going to just kind of even it out here a little bit, and I'm going to let it simmer for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. And then we're going to call it done. We're going to dish it up. We're going to try it out. So I will be back just a little bit. Okay, I just discovered we had a little bit of a camera malfunction over here. It's working now, so you can see what the product looks like now. You just couldn't see it when I was adding all the ingredients, other than from this angle here. But it's looking terrific, and it's time to start serving this up. So I will meet you over at our main station. I'll see you over there. It is tasting time. Now, I know I've got a lot of fans out there for Gunner the Wonder Dog, but no, he is not going to be getting samples of Sloppy Joe because I really do not need a sloppy Gunner. So, let's dish it up the way we normally would for a Sloppy Joe, which obviously is on a bun. And this recipe is going to make about 6 Sloppy Joes. So if your family is larger than that or hungrier than that, just double it up. But let's see how this turns out. This is awesome. This is even better than the manwich sauce. Like I say, if you don't have a can, you really don't need to be buying those cans anymore. This was so simple and easy to make. You go through basically about the same steps that you would if you're just emptying the can in there. So why not make it homemade and make it better? With that said, I love having you as my audience. I hope that you like us. I hope you give us a like down below, give us a subscription, and please leave me a comment. With that said, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye.